First, the what's what. I'm going to give you 6 things, 1 of them, 2 of them, and 3 of them. I'm super bad with numbers, so I actually give you 5 of them. But it's in your benefit, and then the last thing we'll talk about is math right before lunch. You're so excited. All right, first, being ready. Emails with $20 per every $1 invested return on marketing investment. If I put $1 into my marketing budget into email marketing, the Direct Marketing Association says I should be getting about 20 bucks back on average. Booyah. How many of you are getting $20 for every $1 you spend in email marketing? Raise your hands. Oh boy. That's why you're in this class. How many of you know what your return on investment for email is? There we go. I got a slide for you. Oh, a couple of I think I don't. Maybe when you see the slide, we'll know if you really have it or not. All right, so first things first, we've got to pave the way. Last question, and I promise I'm going to stop making you raise your hand. How many of you saw my session at Content Marketing World last year? Oh, good. Thank you, Amanda. So actually, this presentation was meant to be an advanced session last year, and we ended up getting a couple of introductory pieces that really struck the audience's fancy. We ended up spending almost 40 minutes on a very cool Q&A. Awesome. But for this one, we're going to hold questions because I have a couple of things I want to impart, and I hope that that will be useful for you guys. So I'm going to speed through the first sort of basics here because I believe that you are not ready to rock your ROI until 2 things. You understand how to maximize what you've already got, and you're playing by the rules. And 2, and this will actually be the end, the recap at the end, you got to know how to measure your ROI. So we're going to talk a little bit about all of that. First, be ready to rock. I don't know why I'm pointing that direction. It's actually that direction. Seth Godin, the bald guy with the orange book, in 1999 said, "Ask people's permission to market to you, and they will listen when you have something good to say." That has not changed. In fact, I think that may be more true than ever. In 2016, however many years later, 17 years later, social media has made this practically a requirement. If I don't opt in, I don't get it, right? I determine what content I engage with. And in email marketing, though it is not the law in the United States, it is absolutely common and best practice for you to expect to get permission to send something to somebody's inbox. It's their party, it's their house. If you don't get the invite in, they kind of kick you out. And they have a way to do that. They have that nasty spam button. As an email marketer, I live in fear, and you should too, of somebody hitting that spam button. Because it doesn't just mean that when Amanda calls me spam, I don't get to send to Amanda anymore. It means I don't get to send to the rest of you either, right? So email marketing is one where I can't just post it and hope you see it. The good news is it goes straight to your inbox. I think you're going to see it. If it gets to your inbox, ooh, there are other possibilities, right? So live in fear of that spam button and always get permission. Offer value, right? We are content marketers. We're putting carrots out on the internet on a daily basis. Offer value and then promise to deliver that value. And then, oh, by the way, do it. Respect the inbox. Make sure that what you send has that value that you promised you would deliver. All right. Basics level 1, get permission. Basics level 2, I have 2 mathematical ways to guarantee that I can increase your return on investment. The first, improve inbox placement. We alluded to that just now. I'll dive into that in just a second. The second is address the inactive portion of your list. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into both of these. First, I am well known for saying this at this point. The dirty little secret of email marketing is that just because you sent it doesn't mean it had to go anywhere. I sent 100 emails out. One of them hard bounced back to me. The email address was bad, so I got a bounce back. So 99 of them went through, right? Oh boy. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Inboxes like Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, Office 365, they don't have to deliver your email, and they don't have to tell you they didn't deliver it. Woof. Rude. So we have to use numbers. This number is actually from a company called ReturnPath to determine what % of our email actually made it to the inbox, what % made it to junk, and what % never showed up. And this can vary by week. It can vary by campaign. It certainly varies by sender. But on average, in the United States, just 73% of all email marketing, this is valid email marketing, by the way, not spam, not the Russian pharmaceuticals. 73% of all valid email marketing makes it to the inbox. Another 6% goes to spam, and and over 20% goes nowhere. What? I paid for those people. I paid to send to those people. You mean they're not getting it? How are they supposed to convert? How am I supposed to make a return on investment if they didn't even get the email? That's the problem. Now, I don't go into deliverability tactics in this presentation. That is a whole nother presentation, as we learned last year. There is a great interest in that. There are entire conferences around that. Your best resource is this at the bottom of the screen, Return Path. They offer free resources, they offer blog posts, they offer a newsletter, and best of all, they offer tests like this to determine whether you're getting through to the inbox. And I'm going to show you a screen of that in just a second. Real quickly, if 73% of my audience is getting my email, I thought 100% was, but 73% was, let's say I've got a 5% conversion rate, I actually have a great conversion rate because it's 5% of 70%. Does that make sense? So you're not even getting to everybody. Your conversion rate's actually better than you think it is. If you get through to everybody, presuming that this is a problem that you have, and you fix it, you could actually boost your response rate by over a third by doing nothing else. Your same email with the same content with the same offer. That's great, right? That's a guaranteed driver of return on investment just by getting through to people I already thought I was sending to. Good deal. So first things first, there it is. Know whether you're getting to the inbox. And like I mentioned, this is actually return path data. This is AOL, Bell South, Cablevision, Comcast. The heavy hitters are AOL, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, not in that order. Depending on the age of your list, may change. Depending on if you're business to business, it might change because business to business is very domain driven. You may still see these floating towards the top of your highest percentage domains. It's just going to be smaller. We're going to see whether we actually got delivered. They have a method called seed listing. So you can actually seed your list with faux addresses provided by Return Path, and then they tell you where they go. Brilliant. If you're a big enough company, they actually supplement this with something called panel data, meaning actual inbox users, whether it went to their inbox, their junk folder, or nowhere at all. The biggest reason that's important is if somebody opens your email every time, they're going to get your email. If somebody's never opened your email and everybody else got your email, they still may not get it because they haven't proven to be interested in it. So this is an aggregate number, but it is good tracking. If we look all green on the left, great. If we look like the one on the right, now it's time for you and I to have a conversation. Unfortunately, this report is not free. There is something that you can turn on to monitor all the time through Return Path. If you're just not sure, come see me afterwards. You can borrow one of mine. All right, that was a big one for me. That was an aha moment about 8 years ago when I realized all that work I was putting in didn't actually mean I got delivered to somebody, and that's a big piece of the industry. All right, next up. Guarantee I can increase your return on investment by alerting you to your inactives. No matter how big the list, no matter how old the list, no matter the client that I've worked on, about 40%, right at 40% of your email list is inactive right now. They haven't opened or clicked in over a year. Scrub that against your buyers. Unfortunately, not surprisingly, it doesn't go down that much. So 40% of the people that you're sending to, not counting the people you're not getting to, potentially. Now let's say you're getting through to everybody, but only 60% of them are ever going to open. Why are you spending your money on that 40%? Let's figure out what we could do with them. First of all, you think your open rate on average, the industry open rate, and boy, everybody wants benchmarks, right? Everybody wants to know what's a good open rate, because I'm pretty sure my 12% isn't very good. Well, it depends, but this is one of the first things that I recommend. If you have a 12% open rate consistently, as in it hasn't just dropped off sometime in the last year, then yeah, it's possible that your list is just tired. You're sending to people that aren't even there anymore. So you think your open rate is 20%. Actually, out of the 40% that aren't going to open, you're getting 20% open rate of 60%, a 33% open rate. Would you love to tell your boss that you went from a 20% to a 33% open rate this week? Here you go. And actually, I wouldn't say to count them out right away. My big goal here is take them off your list potentially, right? If I can decrease my costs by 40% in delivery, I can absolutely make that ROI number go up. I wouldn't trim them off immediately, though. I would say do a re-engagement campaign. This is a good example from YRC Freight, business to business, and Hostess because it's cute. And Hostess actually is an I Miss You campaign in general. You'll see Macy's or department stores do this, right? Where we've noticed you haven't bought anything in exactly 90 days. Boy, somebody's really on the ball over there. No, it's automation, right? You haven't opened, clicked, or purchased anything in a certain amount of time. We will send that email to you and just double check that you're interested in being on the list. This is two things. First, it ups your open rates. Two, it actually helps the first guaranteed way. When you have high engagement, like open rates or click-through rates, inboxes like Gmail or Outlook or Office 365 take note of that and think, well, these guys aren't spammers. They get a 33% open rate. Yeah. So they're actually taking the word of the people whose inboxes you're sending to, and one of the ways you can look really great to them is to make sure you're sending to your most active audiences. On the left, you can see a sort of paragraph-style letter. This was actually that they'd been remiss. YRC Freight hadn't sent in a few months. Not that that happens to anybody in this room, would never. But they had actually collected a list over a period of time, and that had been sent disjointedly. So now they're going to actually launch their email program. Would you like in, and I love the wording here, which I'm sure you could not possibly read. Our business is delivering the right thing to the right person at the right time, and that includes email. Do you still want in? Yes, button. Action means yes, right? Somebody who clicks that button says yes. Or no, simple unsubscribe link. If those people want out of your list, you want them out, because they're just going to treat you like a spammer. So the Twinkies just says, you haven't opened my email, say yes to stay in. Notice the difference here. This is the yes and no buttons are the same size for YRC. Yes button, no button. I tried. They were actually, this was a bigger challenge for me because it's also one big image. And for those people who have images turned off, fun fact, a quarter of your list will have images turned off by default, including some versions of Outlook and Android. So they just got the people who are not engaging with our emails just got a big image and maybe a blank email that says, you're not engaging with my emails. Swing and a miss. I tried. And actually, they did pretty well with this because it was automated. And they went on a 9-month cycle. If you haven't opened or clicked in 9 months, we're just going to nudge you. And Twinkie is very cute, so it did work a little bit. All right. How about those $20? I want my 20. It's actually 28 is the number, but it's from 2012 or something, and I just don't believe in 4-year-old stats. So I go with the number that I can prove. These are my clients, people that I've worked with, or things that I know to be a $20 return on marketing investment. It's important really quickly to talk about return on marketing investment. This is not return on investment, meaning the cost of the goods have not come out of this number. If I put $1 of my marketing campaign into this, I expect to get $20 in revenue back out of it. Does that make sense?